And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition for the first time here of the StarCraft Evolution Code A #1. I'm of course your side VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to a new tournament, a new monthly event under the StarCraft Evolution League banner, of course, Code A. Here we go. This is more of an amateur event. Basically, this is an event here designed to help support some of the more up-and-comers in StarCraft Evolution. I believe there is an MMR restriction. There's an MMR restriction here on the event of 5.6k on Korea or 5.7k on NA/EU. So there is that MMR restriction here, and because of that, it allows for these up-and-comers, semi-pro players, or still even pros, to face off here in StarCraft Evolution. Let's go. Let us go. I know that StarCraft Evolution can be quite daunting, especially with all the big names stepping into the ring, but here we have something for the lesser known players. And despite that, I mean, I say lesser known, we've casted many of these players many times, and I'm curious to see how they compare to each other. I'm excited to see how far they can go in these events and what kind of play we get to see as well. What I will say currently when it comes to the StarCraft Evolution meta is that I will say at the highest level of play, there's a lot of all-ins. There's a lot of short games. We have had some macro games in the past, but I'll be honest, in recent months and recent times, they've been more of a rarity here. And I'm hoping that maybe as we get down to the Code A level, maybe we can get some longer back and forth. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. We'll see. We'll see how these players kind of compare to each other, how the meta kind of settles here at this level of play, and how they, look coming into StarCraft Evolution. I'm ready. I'm excited. I am excited. Of course, we had our most recent patch, which we did go over during the podcast. So there have been a couple of adjustments here and there, a couple of changes coming into StarCraft Evolution, and we'll see if we get to experience any of those changes coming into our first series, into our first game. We're going to be jumping into Ateshi versus Nihed. Nihed? Yeah. Jumping into our, I almost said PvT. Looks like we might be switching depending on whether we're playing Brood War or SC2, but we're going to be jumping into our PvP here, jumping into Frostline. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, I need to remember there. Never mind. Un momento. Just catching up with the chat. That update didn't come into effect till after Code A. Well, there you go. So not yet. When it comes to the update, when it comes to the upcoming changes to StarCraft Evolution, something that I'm most excited by is going to be the economy change. There is going to be an economy change, allowing for more resources to be available on your main base and your natural base, kind of incentivizing and giving more of an opportunity to stay on a lower base count but still maintain a greater economy. That is definitely going to be an interesting change here to StarCraft Evolution. We'll get there. We're not there yet. Next month. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the purple Protoss player. We have the purple SC2 Protoss from Hungary. It is Nihed. Nihed. Okay, Nihed. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea, representing among SC2 people. It is Ateshi. Here we go. Now, coming into this, I'm a little bit more familiar with Ateshi as a player, as one of the top Protoss players in StarCraft Evolution. I think I would place him still a little bit lower than Rebellion, for example, and Skillus, but still a strong player in his own right. Meanwhile, Nihed across the map is a player I'm very unfamiliar with. I think I've casted him maybe once before in StarCraft 2, but I don't think I've experienced much of him in StarCraft Evolution, so I'm excited. I'm ready to see what he has to offer and how he compares to someone that's more notable, at least in my eyes. As we dive into our PvP, do have our initial double gas openers here. So far so good. When it comes to PvP in StarCraft Evolution, it's pretty, I mean, we don't see too much deviation. We should be seeing Dragoon play initially into Reaver. That's typically how Brutal Protoss does play out, going into Dragoon Reaver. We'll see if we do deviate. Likewise, it does feel like from what we've seen from SC2 Protoss players, we've seen a lot more Blink Immortal play, even almost prioritization into Immortals and Robo play, more so than Blink Stalkers in the early game. So we'll see if we go for a Robo Opener or a Twilight Council instead from the side of Nihed. Here we go. Rebellion, Prime, and Ateshi, maybe Darkest are some of the top amateurs. I mean, when I just mentioned it before, like when I think of the top Protoss players in StarCraft Evolution, I do place, I think I placed Rebellion top 5, maybe top 4. Like who would I place above Rebellion? I would place like Classic and Skilless, I feel. And I guess I think that's it. Like because there aren't that many regular Protoss players in StarCraft Evolution, I feel, right? Like I think Classic and Skilless initially as top 2, and then I think I placed Rebellion as top 3. I might be forgetting someone though. I may be forgetting another regular Protoss player in StarCraft Evolution. And then underneath Rebellion is where I would place like Prome and Ateshi. But now though, Zell does move out. So it does move out, and so far just getting a scout on what's going on. So far going to be a 2-gate opener here from Nihed. Likewise, Ateshi across the map going for his own proxy. We are going to be chronoing out our initial Dragoon. I say chrono. We're going to be pumping out our initial Dragoons. Likewise, proxy what? Proxy Robo here from Ateshi, setting up for what looks to be proxy Reaver. Let's go. Oh boy, so one base setup here, one base all in from Ateshi. Nihed is yet to really confirm. He is now moving out. He'll run into the Dragoons, and so far we'll make a pass those Steam Vets. Does engage. Again, Steven's coming into play. So far, backing off. Does pull away for now. Going for a Stargate opener himself. Going for a going for a proxy Stargate even. Okay. Proxy Stargate into the expand. Of course, this should be for Oracles to wreak havoc to get economic damage done in the main base. Meanwhile, Ateshi, he does scout. He does confirm this gateway is going to be shut down. Yeah, the Stargate will not get up and running. And here comes the Bay. Here comes the proxy Reaver. Shuttle into Reaver, into shuttle speed, of course. I mentioned before that we did expect Dragoon Reaver to be the composition of choice. Not quite like this though. I didn't expect it to be proxied. So hybrid committed here from Ateshi. Does move out, shuts down the initial proxy Stargate. This does mean that the tech is delayed, going for a later Twilight Council and later Robo from Nihed. He's setting up here back at home, just now going for Hallucination. He is still yet to confirm whether or not there's an expansion. Hallucination moves out and up. Ooh, does barely survive. Whew. The scout is not denied, so big moment here for Nihed, but the Stalkers and Dragoons are already moving in. Yeah, trying to keep up, trying to hold on. Trying to hold on. Likewise, Reaver is still on the way. Expansion now being taken. A much later expansion here for Ateshi. And we'll see if he can break through. As initially actually dropping into the main. He has to be careful. I don't know if he wants to show his hand too soon. Yeah, he does. He does second guess himself there. Does drop those Dragoons, waiting for the Reaver. Has to calm down. Stalker Sentry moves out. There is going to be a recall available. Ooh, never mind. No energy for a recall. We might end up in a weird base trade. As Ateshi hits the natural, so will Nihed. He does hit the natural as well. Pushing in, catching a Dragoon. He commits. So does his opponent. Ooh, do we come back home? Uh-oh. Dragoons, they turn back around, they're racing back home. Pylon's gonna be going down, everything gets depowered. Remember, there was no recall available. Outside of a base trade, I don't think we can come back home here. Nice force field. Yeah, probes, they get locked down. And Ateshi, he's turning all the way back around. Not like this, every probe is gonna fall. And that's gonna be game. At this point, do we have a recall yet? Still, okay, we do. Recall now is available. By the time the army comes back home, yeah, there's just nothing here. Oof. Going for the Bay. Now he turns back. Now he turns back around. Ateshi turns back around, and at this point, now there's a recall available. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there's still one available, so he can recall whenever he so chooses. Shield batteries on the way, and there it is. There's that recall back home. Now the Reaver can still pop off. Can still break through. Boys being pulled. Oh my god, massive connection. His shot does go off and GG gets called. Ateshi has nothing left and Nihed will take the game. Will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Again, Ateshi, he was already at the front door. He was already across the map. We were ready here to commence the base trade. But it's a really hard call to make because the reality is that Ateshi doesn't know if there is energy for a recall or if there isn't. Regardless though, because he was already outside the natural, turning all the way back around was a brutal decision there from Ateshi. Clearly, I mean, by the time he did, he wasn't really able to do anything with it, so a really rough call to make, and with that, Nihed snowballs out of control. GG. GG, well played. It was a strong start for Ateshi as well. Remember, he was denying the scout, he found the Stargate as well. Like, there was some really nice moments there for Ateshi, but some rough decision making towards the end, and in the end, GG. GG, well played. Nihed does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Ooh, loading into Bloody Ridge. I've only casted one game on this map. I think it was during the StarCraft Evolution Masters show match. Bloody Ridge is a newer map. I say newer map. It's an older map, an older brutal map, but it's a newer map to the tournament map pool. So I'm excited to see it's being played out here. And once again, oh, jumping into a PvP. Let's go. Here we go. Why is Brutal Protoss on the Brutal side versus SC2 Ace? Oh. Excuse me. As we are jumping in and spawning in the top right hand corner, there of Bloody Ridge, we have the Hungarian Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss. Oh, it is Nihed. Leading series 1-0 and spawning in the, oh right, I get what you're saying. Oh, kind of. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player. Once again, the Korean Protoss, representing among SC2 people, it is Ateshi. Here we go. We are settling in to have Ateshi moving out, going for his initial probe scouts. And Bloody Ridge is an interesting map. I think the thing that strikes me the most after seeing it the first time and now coming into it the second time as well is the lack of bases. There are very few bases here on Bloody Ridge. The bases themselves are also quite exposed. We have seen players struggle to maintain a third on this map, get a third base, let alone a fourth base. Jesus. So from my understanding, this is a very old map, which is a little bit as to the reason why the bases are a little bit less frequent, and it has its own unique kind of style to it. Very old school when it comes to its overall map layout, even compared to other Brood War maps. So interesting choice as to the reason why this was brought into the map pool. I would love to know kind of the rationale behind it. If it's just like, oh, you know, this would just be nice to throw in, or if there's like maybe a little bit more thought behind it when it comes to like the number of maps available and like the rush maps, the macro maps, and kind of what you want to step into. Maybe a nostalgia. Hard to say, but yeah, interesting to see Bloody Ridge once again. Meanwhile, Ateshi, we saw a proxy in game 1, another proxy here in game number 2. As the probe does hide here on the right hand side. We'll see what he does get into. Likewise, back at him, 2-gate opener, double Dragoon. We'll see if he does expand. Nihed, of course, does. Probe here on the high ground is able to, I mean, we already confirmed the expansion. Ateshi is fully aware. And we'll see what he goes for, as here comes that pylon, here comes that proxy. Meanwhile, safe robo opener here at Nihed, so robo first into safety immortals. So far, very solid, or I guess just very safe play here from our SC2 Protoss player. We'll see how Ateshi will approach this. I feel like there's potential with this proxy location just because it's so close to the wall and it's on the high ground as well. I was about to say, like, I can see like maybe like cannon rushes or shield batteries working, and there it is, shield batteries are on the way. Okay, let him cook, papi, let him cook. Shield batteries, they're going to be able to support the Dragoons. Likewise, shield battery for Nihed as well. You'll have the NG overcharge, don't forget that. Shield batteries, they finished quite quickly actually, oh my god. They haven't revealed themselves yet. Dragoon does head over. Delayed proxy robo. Robo was thrown down and no expansion from Ateshi. Ateshi commits. And the Immortal's already on the way for Nihed. I mean, again, this robo opener here is gonna, it feels like it's gonna shut this down real fast and real quick. If you have high ground vision, I believe you can probably actually fire the pylon from the low ground as well, like even from behind the wall. So that's also something to consider, and maybe a concern. Meanwhile, Dragoons, they do make their way in, focusing on that first Stalker. Shield battery out of NG, the Immortal has arrived. Oh, just in time. The Immortal is out, second Immortal's on the way. So far, not a single Dragoon goes down. We're still rallying across the map. It's still one base all in. Shuttles in production. Ooh, as the Sentry gets targeted, nice pickup. Sentry goes down, second shield battery on the way. Hallucination does confirm. Now Nihed is aware. Shields, they get triggered. But now we have that second Immortal. We'll see if he can hold on behind this. He's up to 2 gates. I guess 3. Oh no! He gets caught out. Massive pickup. The first Immortal does not go down. Yeah, he survives. Clutch move there from Nihed does a pull back. He's got his sentry, he's got his force fields. First gate should fall. Now going for the Cyber Core. Cyber Core under fire. Shuttle is here to help micro, to help control. Nice force fields. Shuttle coming in though. One Dragoon goes down. Again, going for the pylon. Yeah, that pylon is within range. Despite that shuttle, oh my god, Prism takes a lot of damage, does go down, no more high ground vision. And Ateshi, does he have enough? The Dragoon's getting very low. Oof, takes out an Immortal. One Immortal goes down. There's the NG overcharge. Stalker falls as well. And there might just not be enough here. Despite that, these Dragoons are so low. Reaver, let's go! Reaver's on the way. Shield Buddy's putting in a lot of work. Oh. Forces way in. Sentry goes down. Now the Sentry falls. Down goes the Cyber Core. There's no backups. Oh, no, sorry, there is. There is a backup Cyber Core in the main. Nihed, who was ready for this. Shield's triggered once again on that Immortal. He does have to pull back. Dragoon goes down. I mean, losing that War Prism was huge. Like, imagine this army with that Prism Micro with high ground vision. But alas, not anymore. And there she's built up to, what, 12 Dragoons? And should have enough, especially with the Reaver. Reaver coming in. Oh my god, almost goes down. Has to be careful. Down goes the Immortal. Down to 2. 2 Immortals remaining. Reaver headed for the mineral line. And that Nihed is just being pulled apart. Oh! Shot goes off. Trying to hold on. Shield battery out of energy. Yeah, overcharge is too late. And down to 1. And soon to be down to 0. Ateshi, he's done it. He sort of steps in. Takes down the Immortal. And will overwhelm. As boys are being pulled. Nihed getting desperate. Likewise, Reaver in the main base. 6 probes going to be going down. Up. Getting up to 9. The boys are helping, but now we're getting up to 2 Reavers. Second Reaver has arrived. And again, like a really just interesting location, just because the third base is on the high ground. It's on the high ground compared to the natural, which is crazy. So an interesting proxy location, making full use of it. GG gets called, and Ateshi ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We are going to the ace match. And we'll see how the story ends as the PvPs continue here. Okay. For some reason I thought Nihed was a Terran player, but apparently full Protoss. As we're getting to the ace match, going to be loading into one of the more modern SE2 maps, going to be loading into Amygdala. Let's go. Here we go. Little old by famous Protoss senders. Oh, yo, that's boomer speak. That's like, it's not old, papi. It's only, what, 15 years old? True. It's not old. Copium. As we're getting into, Hold on. I need to screenshot this. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the purple Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss. Being forced into the ace match, receiving and bringing it back from the land of Hungary, it is Nihed. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the pink Protoss player, the brutal Protoss himself, representing among SC2 people. It is Ateshi. It's like when Grubby talks about Warcraft 3 patches that happened recently, and it happened in 2006. True. Oh god. I mean, to be fair, I think we do that with StarCraft 2 as well. Like when we think of recent changes, like I definitely think of changes like even like just pre-COVID, for example, like 2019, 2018, and then it's like, oh, it's been years, baby. Oh no, it's been so long. It's understandable. Just needed a 2-player brutal map to replace Monty Hall. Ah, Smurge. Fond memories of Monty Hall. Fond memories. For now, though, once again, 2-gate openers. Oh my, never mind. 2-gate openers all around. Interesting wall off here from Ateshi. Let's go. Sets up the pylon. And once again, every game so far, Ateshi has gone for a proxy. He's gone proxy robo, at least in one way, shape, or form. Every game so far. And we'll see if that trend continues. As Zella does power walk across the map. Likewise, Ateshi checking for pylons. Third pylon placed here on the low ground. So Nihed will look to expand. And I don't see a second probe. Okay, Ateshi, are we going to take a natural? Are we going to expand? Are we going to saturate? No shot. My eyes are on the probe. Where are we headed? Meanwhile, Nihed does go for a robo before expanding. I mean, it makes sense based on how this series has played out, based on the hyper aggression of Ateshi. Is going for a safe opener, but Ateshi does expand for the first time this series. Let's go. So we do have the natural being taken. Ateshi setting up here on the low ground. And suddenly, our purple Protoss will have the opportunity here to commit to an all-in. Yeah, let's go. Third gateway has been thrown down. The turrets have tabled. One base all-in here from Nihed. Meanwhile, Ateshi is going to be the defender. Let's go. Does go for a robo opener. I mean, not many other tech options, to be fair. Is going for the robo. Setting up for eventually his own defensive reavers. And we'll see how this all comes together. As usual, Mortal's on the way. Mortal is in production. Likewise, third gateway here from Ateshi. Robo is out, Prism is on the way, and soon Nihed, he will commit. He will move out across the map. Now Ateshi, he's going to be proactive here. He's going to move out with his own army to engage ahead of time. This is dangerous, especially against the Immortal. The problem here is that Ateshi has no idea what's going on. He has no idea. For all he knows, there could be an expansion, and he might get caught out. No, nice spread. I was going to say best case scenario is that he does catch the Prism, but alas, that's not going to happen. Oh. Does this hold these off here on the Stalker. Trading 1 for 1. There we go. There we go. Catching at a second Dragoon, not bad. Second Dragoon goes down. Ateshi being chased down, and behind this we do have a shield battery. Second shield battery is on the way. No Reaver yet, just Master Dragoon. And with the power of this Immortal, I'll be honest, I'm not so certain that Ateshi can hold. Reaver's in production. Does kite back. Voids are being pulled. Nice force field, locking down the Dragoons. Takes down 1, 2 is going to get all 3. Likewise, our Toast Pylon going to be going down. Oh, we'll depower those shield batteries. Thankfully, the Robo is still going. Thankfully. Another force field. The Immortal gets surrounded, but the Dragoons are going to go down. One after the other. The Reaver is still in production. It may just barely pop. But this might just be too much. They're warping in the depths. Going for the probes. Why not? The Dragoon is barely going to pop out. Dragoon, sorry, Reaver. What I meant to say. Yeah, the Reaver's out. Still needs a... No! Still needs a Scarab. Never mind. Never mind. The Reaver falls, and with that, Ateshi is being broken. He's being broken. We can still reinforce across the map with that shuttle, with that prism even. More boys are being pulled, down to 2 Dragoons. Down to 1. And with the adepts, yeah, these probes, they can't do much. GG gets called, and Nihed, he will take the series at 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Does claim the series. He's had enough defending. He's like, this animal just keeps proxying me. I'm done. I'm just one base all in. Didn't even proxy. Commits to the one base all in. Unfortunately, ahead of time, Ateshi did bleed out 2 Dragoons. It was a brutal loss there, bleeding out 2 Dragoons ahead of time. Unfortunately, he had no confirmation as to what was happening. Basically, he face checked. He only scattered the all-in with his line of Dragoons out on the map. He wasn't able to get a probe across or get confirmation that there was or wasn't an expansion. So in that, he found out by the army and yeah, bled out a little bit too much. Did get the Reaver towards the end. Unfortunately, again, no shot available. Did need the Scarab, of course, and was overwhelmed. GG, well played. Also, really nice force fields. Very nice force fields on that ramp. Looking down at Ateshi time and time again. And with that, Ateshi is out. And Nihed advances on. And I'm excited because Nihed, he's a player that, again, I haven't really casted and haven't really covered in StarCraft Evolution. I'm more familiar with the Korean Protosses, like Ateshi, like Prome, for example, like Rebellion. There are some of the European players that I have not been able to cast anywhere near as much. So I'm ready. I'm excited. Does advance on to the semifinals. Does advance on. Also, my apologies, I got ahead of myself here. Let's switch things over and catch up on the brackets. As Nihed does take the 2-1. We'll have to fix up that scoreline though. Bam. Beautiful. As we have our quarterfinals. We have our quarterfinals here. We have our initial PvP that has concluded. Nihed advancing on to the upper semifinals. Nihed waiting for the winner of Kot and DeWalt. Likewise, Prone versus StarCraft also about to begin another PvP, and we have Zodian versus Ducklings as well. So I appreciate that we have some diversity. A lot of Protoss getting involved. Good to see Kots once again. Kots, I don't know how long his games are going to be. If you remember, last time he casted Kots, outside of a couple of years ago, as he used to play in Grand Platypus Open in StarCraft 2, but it was during StarCraft Evolution where he 12-pool drone pulled the hell out of Hero. And he beat him. Like, he did beat Hero with 12-pool drone pool. True. Did happen. So, Kot is an animal. He's an absolute animal. He's, of course, a Zerg player from Hong Kong. So, I look forward to seeing more of Kot. Likewise, up against DeWalt. Prone versus Starrat. Zodian versus Ducklings. We have seen some Zodians, I want to say, in the previous StarCraft Evolution as well. In the StarCraft Evolution League. So I look forward to seeing more of him. We'll see if we can avoid the PvP semis and PvP finals, as there's quite a lot of Protoss here. Oh boy, let's go.